The search for the worst. To die on the search for the worst. The Requin. The Requin is the worst thing in the history of anything ever. The terrible acting combined with the bland and uncreative premise of a shark horror movie creates an overall boring and underwhelming experience. For half of the film, it's also one of these terrible movies where you can't even see anything which is happening, because it is so dark all the time. It's supposed to create an eerie tone, but it just fails miserably, and it left me to wonder what the hell is going on in the whole movie. Now, let's dive into this movie. You get it? Dive, because it's a shark. Oh, forget it. For 3 minutes, yes, 3 whole minutes, all the actors are shown which are worked on the movie. Then a woman has a nightmare or something, and a man couldn't sleep for some reason. Then we learn that this woman has episodes about a pregnant child or something. Her child which died during pregnancy or some shit. I honestly can't even remember anymore. And then there's an unfunny social media joke. The characters are all boring, to be honest, and it looks like they're on some sort of holiday. We learn that they are on a holiday. Then there's a terrible montage of what seems to be just pointless scenes to fill time. It's just there to fill time before shit goes down, I guess. And a Chinese woman tells us a pointless story of a random woman which has nothing to do with anything. Something to do with the island that they're staying on or some shit. Then there's a clearly fake news report of what looks like a weather warning. She rings her mum and the FaceTime screen is clearly fake. I really don't understand why they don't just use a real one, to be honest. Her sister joins the call and it is the fakest conversation a movie literally ever seen. There's a stupid scene where they are scuba diving and it cuts to many different creatures, like a turtle, manta ray, and many variations of fish. You might be wondering, why the hell am I telling this? Oh, you might think it's just to fill time, and that's what it is. The exact same as what's showing us the scene is, to fill fucking time in this movie. Then, after swimming in the ocean for no reason at all, just to fill time again, they sit on a rock and then the man cuts his leg on purpose, so the woman has a forced flashback of her losing her child. We then learn more about how the child died, but it's all just unbelievably boring, including a random little scene where the woman is literally sitting in a fucking bath of blood, it appears. I don't know much about when women lose their child, but I don't know, it just all seems pointless and just to fill time in this movie. They are then told they can relocate because of a storm, but they don't because the movie has to happen. Then the floating room they're staying at gets destroyed and it's the worst acting ever. Oh no. They're then basically stranded on the remainder of the room, which is just like a little bit of the room. It then cuts to the morning and it turns out that the room was floating away from the island where they was. Oh no. They then have a pointless argument about how they could have been saved by the people which were right there if they'd just swam over to a rock or something, instead of just staying on the house. The woman then has another pointless flashback before receiving all the items that she can which are underneath the house somehow. It is all boring and you can write what's going to happen for them. Piranhas then dramatically appear, but it turns out they were nowhere near her. Fuck this movie. A helicopter flies over and they try to get it, but it obviously fails because we're only 50 minutes into this hour-long and a half movie. Oh, fuck this. Then a plane goes past and they try to get it, but it obviously fails because it's a plane. It's like 30,000 feet up. And then a ship comes and they try to get it, but it fails. Yes, I'm not joking. This actually happens. All consecutively. Then, they accidentally set fire to the room, leaving them in the water for some reason. The sharks come to get on the remainder of the house, which was burnt down, but now it's somehow gone. But then it turns out to be dolphins. Fuck this movie again. The little arse remainder of the house that they are on gets separated by a shark and the man is dragged into the water. Finally, actually something's happening in this terrible movie. But oh no, the woman actually then stabs it off with a plank, so then it just runs off. There is a pointless dream sequence. It's so boring that I was half asleep at this point, so now we're just getting into a summary because I don't know what the fuck happened. The man died, so she wanders around a beach and finds a man floating in some fucking little wooden thing that he's made. The Chinese man dies. Yes, he was Chinese, by the way. She gets a leaf blower or something and hurts the shark, so it swims off. But then it comes back as a CGI shark. I'm not joking. I don't know why all of a sudden the shark has turned into a CGI shark. I don't know why. The CGI shark fucking tips her into the water. The shark is about to kill her until somehow it gets shot. I've no idea how. She's got a gun or something. I'm not joking, it doesn't get shown. She is then seen drifting onto an island and the movie ends. The Requin is the boringest and worst movie I think I've ever watched in my life. Quite possibly. It may be worse than Aquaslash, and I didn't think that was possible. But I said that about Birdemic, and then I watched Aquaslash. So it just proves that the search for the worst, in search of the worst, anything is possible. Just a couple of side notes that I also wrote down. The mother's overacting throughout the movie was really irritating. She was like... And the contrast between actors is unbelievable, as you had the mother, which really overacted, and then you had the man, which was underreacting to every situation they were in. So it was a bit of a mixture of a contrast, which didn't really work for me. To be honest, this may be the worst movie I've ever watched in my life, and it's definitely the most boring, because at least in Aquaslash something was happening. Nothing happens in this movie. It's just sequences with no consequence at all. Yeah, to be honest, it may be the worst movie I've ever watched ever. So yeah, The Requin is the worst movie I've watched on this series. I don't know what we're gonna do after we get a certain amount of movies on this, but yeah, there it is, guys. Yeah, let's see what movie we're watching next. Up next on the search of the worst is You've Got to Be Kidding Me. Yes, so Ice Spider's next. Please subscribe to support the series, and yeah, guys, I will not be uploading for a couple of weeks because I am going on a caravan holiday on Monday, and then I will be at school, back to school then after the week after. So yeah, and then I'm on holiday again. Again, right, 2 holidays. So there probably won't be any uploads of 3 weeks. Any uploads, like any type of upload. So yeah, just subscribe, guys, and see you in about a couple of weeks.